So I gotta admit something. I'm only really making this video because I recorded way too much content for this game and I don't know what to do with it, so I'm just gonna plug it into this review and you guys are gonna watch it. Or click off it immediately. I see you down there, you little shitling. Yeah, you. I saw you. You saw 1 second of the Titanfall video and thought, nah, I cannot watch this. You saw this and you thought, I just cannot watch this anymore. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed in you. If you haven't seen my previous TABG video, you may be asking things like, what is a TABG? Why is a TABG? And why does my penis get big sometimes? Well, it's a game that you should play for the low price of being completely free. Even the battle pass, which is just free even though it asks you to buy it. This game is unironically one of the best battle royales out there, beating your Fortnites and your PUBGs and your The Finals. TABG was developed by the incredible Landfall Games, so you know it's going to be janky as fuck, completely unbalanced, and have essentially zero textures, which is why this game fucking slaps. I used to play this game a long time ago when they were still working on it, only really coming back to it quite recently, and it's still unbelievably fun, especially with friends. I mean, I've been playing this game essentially non-stop for the past couple of weeks, and this game is perfect in all of the best ways. In this battle royale, where there are miniguns and rocket launchers, the best weapon in the entire game is a fucking katana. Also, speaking of miniguns, have you ever heard of liberating miniguns? Imagine holding a minigun in one hand, then putting another minigun in your other hand, putting little American flags on them. That's a pair of liberating miniguns. Now, I've been playing this game for a decent amount of time and I still feel like I haven't tried everything out because I know I haven't. There are so many guns in this game that you find like once and then just never see them again. There's a training range, which is where I got a couple clips from, and as you can see, just a lot of the really wacky guns just aren't here, meaning you can only find them in the actual game, which makes my life a lot more difficult. There are just so many guns and attachments that make the game incredibly replayable, and that's not even mentioning the blessings. A single blessing can change how you build your loadout for the rest of the game. Let's take Lightning Charge, for example, which can give you a very short burst of extreme speed. This single blessing can change your kind of short-range build into a close-up nightmare for your opponents. Just take a look at all these different blessings you can acquire in this game. Just think of all the different ways your loadout could change and become a complete and utter nightmare for your opponents to deal with. Now, going back to the attachments in the game, they can be so silly, such as the periscope scope and barrel, which makes the game essentially impossible to aim, as now you're like an extra 10 feet taller, and the fucking crosshair doesn't even line up anymore. There's also the 0.5 scope, which just zooms your camera out even further to stuff that like can create the most overpowered weapons, like the double barrel attachment, which on anything is just insane. I mean, on a sniper rifle, you just one-shot anyone. On a minigun, it's just fucking crazy. Like, this game's just so silly, man. Now, let's talk about the actual gameplay loop of TABG. In TABG, you load into a lobby, which is the actual map that you'll be fighting in a moment, and once you load into the actual game, similarly to other battle royales, you spawn in a group of flying vans soaring over the map. You launch yourself out rather violently into the game, and you land at one of the numerous fictional places that the geniuses at Landfall Games made up, such as Pyramid, Castle, Snow Castle, Actual Finland, and of course Sandcastle. Now, with all these mythical places that you could land, I would recommend that you land at either Circle Town, Industry, or Containers, because these are the places that I don't often land at, and I don't want you to steal my stuff. Once you land, you gotta find stuff, and a lot of it. You can store 2 main weapons, or dual-wield secondary weapons, and 1 secondary weapon. There isn't a carry weight limit, so you can take as much ammo as grenades as you like. The only limit is the actual amount of different items you can get. You can equip up to 3 blessings, but you can carry more on you, which you can switch to at any time in your inventory. There are 3 slots for attachments that you can equip on every weapon: a scope in the top slot, a barrel in the middle slot, and an extra in the bottom slot for laser sights and damage analyzers, that sort of thing. Now, eventually you're gonna die. Boo-hoo. As long as this is before the second wall closing, this is this game's version of Night Storm, you get to go to this game's version of the Gulag, which, you know, obviously from Call of Duty Modern Warfare. In here you have to weave your way through towers and try to make it to the end of the course. There are 3 stages to this which will give you rewards depending on which one you make it through. If you make it through the first stage, you will respawn, however, you get a curse that will make it harder for you to play the game. Second stage, you'll respawn normally, and the third stage, you'll respawn with a blessing. Fair warning, it is almost never worth bothering to get the blessing, as it's always some like complete dog shit that you could just find randomly in the map. However, you do feel pretty awesome when you make it through the final stage. As you play this game more and more, I'm sure that you'll grow to love this game just as much as I love it. For its wacky physics, its fun gameplay loop, and just overall enjoyable nature. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye now.